All right, so without any comments, I'm going to go ahead and move after I take a sip of water here to the next resume. This is from Jannet Torres. Jannet explained to me in her email that she is looking to go from a paralegal type of position into a project manager position. Jannet, are you currently here online? Let me know. Feel free to follow along with me and explain as you let me know where you may be. Thank you, Yesenia. I appreciate it. And hi, Kaya. I didn't want to ignore you either. Your resume is in queue tonight. It is one of the PDFs that I am reviewing, and so we'll be going through it shortly. All right, so Janet's resume is a unique one on first look because a lot of it starts with her experience from a functional perspective, project management, customer service, administration, Marcom, and then goes into her professional development, and then goes into her community involvement, and then goes into her employment history. And so I nearly need to go to the bottom of the second page to see what it is that she's actually done in her previous work. And then she tells me her education and her foreign languages, all of which are great. So again, if someone were to look at this resume for the very first time, it is not immediately clear what exactly this person is looking to do. I see a mishmash of skills that suggest work experience in these 4 areas, but I don't quite exactly know why she's good at that. I have to kind of look, right, in terms of project management, customer service, administration, marketing, and communications. And it's also not immediately clear if I take a look at this resume for 6 seconds, what types of skills that she might have. However, if I look through this resume and I dice through it really quickly, I can see, right, that she's got highlights here. She was able to supervise teams of 10 contractors, so we're going to go ahead and put that in yellow. Reduces case costs of up to 15 to 40 grand per case, and meeting all budget allocations from $15,000 to $4 million. She successfully trained all 8 office employees, implemented a scalable client system for a personal injury law firm with 200 cases in two office locations. And let's see, what else? Administration, he's temporarily managed 400 workers' compensation cases simultaneously, right? This is amazing. And she's decreased staffing costs 2 to 6 grand monthly for at least 3 months. And so this is actually a pretty good start. And then here she also tells me that she's uploaded over 100 Bay Area Latinx events on a weekly basis for a local company when it comes to events. She is able to implement creative campaigns and able to meet a maximum sales quota of 3 to 6 grand, right? And so these are all highlights here that I've had to take the last maybe 3 minutes here to actually scroll down and look. And it makes it tremendously difficult because while I have 3 minutes sitting here online right now on Facebook Live, your average hiring manager has 30 seconds. And where are they going to spend their 30 seconds? They're going to spend it up here in the top left-hand corner. And even if you're transitioning from one career to another, it is important for you to be able to still tell that story, that you are transitioning into that career and that you are looking to looking to make a mark no matter where you are. There are transferable skills in every single area. So, Janet, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to go ahead and slice and dice up your resume a little bit here. So first, I want to actually talk about your career highlights. Next, I want to talk about your technical skills. And then finally, I want to hop into your work experience as a matter of the actual work experience that you've done, employment history, because this is what tells the story and what will tell the story. I think your community, actually, while I'm here, well, the community involvement stuff is actually really great. It tells me that you're very much involved in the community, and that you should definitely, should also put some of this out here as well, because it shows that perhaps you're also a really great fit for a mission-driven organization. Um, and then your education, this part is actually fine. It shows that you've actually, which is pretty cool, you also have an international background, which is really cool. All right, so what would I put in your in your career highlights section? Well, you've already given me a really good sense of who you are and what you're capable of doing. And so I would actually start with the goals that you're intending to put out there. So, for example, proven and successful project manager with experience implementing CRM solutions, which is what you actually did down here, I believe. Oh no, which is what you did here, actually. Um, 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 through effective cost savings and efficiency measures, right? And I would say average cost savings include are between 15 to 40K per case, and settlements and legal settlements ranging between 15K to $4 million. So that would be the first piece that I would put down here. And as a person looking at this resume, I would say, wow, this person knows how to save money for me. And if I hire her, she may not come in and make me money right away, but I know that she's going to preserve the business for me. And that may very well take my business to the very next level. And then I would say, let's see, skilled multitasker, capable of managing both individuals and projects, past supervision of up to 10 subcontractors, and legal cases, and 400 plus legal cases. Helping decrease, let's see, staffing costs 2 to 6K, right? So now I'm looking at this resume and I'm seeing more like, okay, here's what is going to show me that she is really good at what she does, and she's also able to come in and make that immediate impact. And you've already stated here that you're that successful project manager, right? So this is a clear case of fake it till you make it. And you want to be able to really show that you can fake it till you make it, because even though you may not be that project manager role today, there are transferable skills in your legal career that show me that you have that project management in the past. I also say that I missed this, that I just noticed now, that you tracked student and staff personnel at UC Berkeley to monitor payroll and employment duties of 16 departments and their subdivisions. So this is actually another highlight point too. So I don't know where you want to be a project manager at. If you want to be in tech, there's definitely applications there. If you want to go back into higher ed, there's something there as well. If you want to be a legal project manager outside of being a paralegal, there's definitely stuff there as well. And then customer service, I think that this definitely showcases to me that you're capable of doing a lot of work. And I guess I really have to say this too. I want to shout out the work that you're doing for the Latino community. My girlfriend is a Latina, and I know she's on this call, and I know she absolutely loves the causes that are going on here. And I would absolutely tell her that she should get in touch with you, because you are doing a lot of great impact work. And my girlfriend's in the nonprofit space too. So I know it's funny I'm doing networking here over a live video, but I feel like if I didn't say something, then then there might be that misconnection. And I think you should also connect with Diana Estrada as well, because she's also into that impact too. And so if the three of you should get together on a phone call after this, I would highly recommend the two of you do it. The three of you do it. All right, so back to customer service. I would say what's missing here is telling me what type of customer service impact you're able to drive, right? So you're definitely able to, you're definitely showing me that you're able to do a lot of the admin work behind it, but I want to know how you measure your customer service at the end of the day. Are we looking at an improved customer satisfaction score? Are we looking at user retention or customer retention? Are we looking at the number of cases that are open over time that signify that a customer is or isn't satisfied? Those are all things that you should look at as you figure this aspect out of your career. All right, so finally, you have a marketing and communications piece. The marketing communications piece is good too. If you want to be a marketing project manager, I would also say that you need to showcase a lot more of the data that you're able to put out there. So for example, you have research and spearhead, business to consumer, multicultural marketing campaigns for client recruitment in the legal field via television commercials, billboards, magazines, and social media, resulting in greater client numbers. So I actually like what you have here in the beginning in the first place, but what's missing here at all is your numbers. How many campaigns did you research and spearhead? And do you know how many TV channels you were able to get on? Do you know how much your billboards were in terms of being able to really drive that attention? How many newspapers were you in? How many magazines were you in? And ultimately, social media, right? So was social media able to drive new leads? Were you able to look at the vanity metrics, visits, views, et cetera, et cetera? Yeah. Okay, so Fiona actually asks a really key question. How do you talk about results if your company isn't tracking it? That's actually, I think, the biggest thing, right? In 2020, your company absolutely needs to be tracking it. So even if you're an individual contributor, you need to be on the butt of whoever manages you and says, look, I need to track these pieces of data, and you need to find your way into that data, right? So social media has social media data tracking can be very granular, especially given the platforms that you are on. And so maybe your third piece here is proficient digital marketer and customer service wizard. And then, like, I would say something next about this should be drive leads through various mediums, resulting in XYZ views, ABC impressions, and CDE leads generated, right? That's going to take you to the next level because it's going to show to the people who are working with you that you are results oriented. And look, you may not necessarily be that results oriented person that blows the social media metrics out of the water, but it's clear to me that you're able to reduce costs by up to 15 to 40 grand per case and have settlements and be able to meet budget allocations ranging from 15 grand to $4 million. So you're saving money for the lawyer, or rather you're reducing money for clients, and you're getting them a ton of money. And so anybody who even looks at this as a customer should be like, wow, if I hire this law firm that contains Jannet, not only am I going to be able to keep everyone's costs low, but they're going to go home a lot richer and in a lot better place than me, because she has the skills and capabilities to project management, and she's focused and she's detail oriented and all of this stuff. And so once you're able to tell that story at the very top, that's going to help you take yourself to the very next level, bar none. All right, so I focused a little bit on the career highlights, and so I want to actually go to the next piece, which is your technical skills. Because now that you've told us what you do and what you bring to the table. We want to know what are the tools of the trade that you help make it happen with, right? So there are going to be marketing tools here. There's going to be project management tools here. There's going to be productivity tools here. There's going to be your foreign language knowledge and all of those kinds of things. And so now that you're able to tell that story, now you come out into the work experience and you should expand on what you did at legal assistant, SEO intern, administrative assistant, head box office cashier. And actually, because you were an intern a long time ago, all of these things can actually go ahead and go away because you're no longer a student. You've done all of these amazing things up here, and nobody cares what you did as an intern anymore, right? So this is the piece that that's going to stand out a lot for you as you get out into the world over there. And don't worry that your previous role was a legal assistant or an SEO intern or an administrative assistant. You did the work. You are a project manager. And so as you go out there, you need to position yourself as that project manager in your career highlights, as that skilled multitasker, and as somebody who's proficient at digital marketing and customer service. And of course, I may not necessarily recommend you use the word wizard to describe yourself, but I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to say, because in your original resume, you're doing what a lot of people on Albert's List do, and it's selling yourself short. And you need to shine. This is your time to shine, and this is your time to look amazing out there, because every single person going into that interview and applying for that same job isn't going to be holding back either, and neither should you. So this is the second piece of that. And so I would actually advocate getting rid of all of these and integrating these into these job and employment history pieces and go from there. Yeah. So any questions, any thoughts so far? I'm glad you're all having a lot of fun. This is one of the more active job reviews that we've had. And so it goes out to everybody, right? A lot of us here are in Silicon Valley. We work in tech, or we work adjacently to tech. And the biggest problem that I see week after week in reviewing these resumes so far is that people continuously sell themselves short. And believe me, the person who's walking off the plane who wants to move to the Bay Area right now to take a job that you want to apply for is not selling themselves short. They know that they're ready for Silicon Valley. They know that the Bay Area is the #1 place to be on this planet because there's nothing but smart people here. And if they're not afraid to paint themselves as smart, neither should you, right? So put that into your mind as you write your resume, as you apply to jobs, and as you consider your job search strategy as things go on, right? Okay, cool. So professional development should technically go under your education piece because these are things that you've done as you've done continuation of your education. So ideally, this stuff should actually go right here. And so actually, in addition to that, because you have the understanding and skills of well, let me see here, of Scrum mastery, you technically should put that somewhere around here as well, where proven and successful project manager with experience and agile Scrum knowledge, right? This is actually going to put you way up there up top, because a lot of companies that have product management roles open are going to want to look for that too. So you're going to want to put that up top so that people can see that immediately. And so your education piece should actually still be pretty brief as it goes. Oh, Fiona. Yeah, Fiona, stop selling yourself short if you're selling yourself short. Okay, so and then the piece on City College of San Francisco, you can actually save a couple of lines here. So people don't necessarily need to know that you've done this detailed stuff. All they need to know is the course that you took, and then you can explain it a little bit further. So you can just say Excel for Business, Introduction to HTML and CSS, and just leave it at that, right? And then you can speak to it in the interview. You can speak to it in as you go through the resume, and then be able to answer those STAR method questions when somebody says, hey, tell me about a time when you used Excel. Tell me about a time where you've used HTML and CSS to do whatever it is that you need to do. And you can say, well, by the way, I did take a class at City College of San Francisco, and I learned in my intro to HTML and CSS class to do the following things, and I've applied it in this way at my law firms and all of that stuff and all of that kind of things. All right, so so I would also finally put your community involvement at the very bottom. So this actually belongs around right here because it is not necessarily related to your work. But if you want to stick it into something that's actually a little bit more prevalent, you can also say involved community leader with interests in, what are we talking about here? With interest in the plus size fashion industry, and workers' rights. And then, plus add your results here, right? And so actually, I think the other piece that you need to put out here, since I just read this, is you founded a Bay Area group with 550 members and 75 active members via an online platform. Again, I hate to say this, but you're selling yourself short here, because I didn't have to actually scroll down halfway into this entire resume and even to the end to know that not only are you a service-driven professional, and not only are you a professional who can wear multiple hats, but you're an entrepreneur too. And so you need to be able to share this somewhere. And this actually probably doesn't belong underneath your community involvement. This belongs somewhere near your employment history for your jobs that you've done as relevant experience and your jobs as other experience. So if anything, this needs to be moved up somewhere. And this also needs to be mentioned around here somewhere. So with interest in workers' rights, plus the results that you have. And then you can also say, founded a plus size social community serving 550 plus people, driving the results that you want to go ahead and put here. So the other thing that a lot of people want when it comes to hiring project managers and hiring people is they want to know how entrepreneurial they are. And so we need to actually pull out the fact from your resume that you are entrepreneurially minded, because otherwise I would not have noticed if I had scrolled down like 2/3 of the way down to finally realize that that's what you did too. And so this is going to make you a very interesting and a very compelling candidate. And to answer your questions, Diana, a resume honestly is as many pages as you need it to be. It can be up to, say, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 pages or whatever it is that you need to do. So Jannet, connect with Diana, connect with Yesenia, and make sure that you rewrite your resume too, so that when you get out into the world, people don't see you as somebody with just straight up work experience in 4 different areas, but they're telling a story around your career highlights, your technical skills, and what it is that, and the education investments that you put in there, and then the community involvement that you put yourself into there too. So this is actually a resume with a ton of potential. You just need to be able to bring it up to the top and to really sit in your amazingness and sit in what makes you special, and so that you can get the job that you totally and absolutely deserve. Diana, how do employers see leading a Facebook social group? They see it as they're fine with it. I think it's not necessarily the medium as which you lead it, but rather the medium that you are leading in the first place. And so, yeah. I hope you connect with some people in this group, and I think you're going to have a fantastic time as far as what your resume showcases these days. All right, so.